My name is Aimee Yocom. I am a 8th grade social studies teacher in California. I've been teaching this is my 29th year. My classes run somewhere between 28 and 32. I have 4 social studies classes, and then I have an exploratory class as well. I've been doing MCP this is my 4th year. Have been a mentor for 2.5 years now. This model has completely changed my life. When I first started using it, I felt like I got my spring back into my step as far as teaching goes. I got a new leash on life, I feel like. I especially love the fact that I get to know my kids even better than I did before with the one-on-one conversations, the small groups, just the amount of free time that I have to be able to interact with my students versus like standing up in front of the classroom and, speaking at them. I don't get a chance to develop those kinds of relationships. And so now with MCP, I get to do that. And so I know my kids so much better. And I also know their capabilities and their proficiencies and where they're at, what they're able to do, what they're not able to do. And I could tell you every single one of my students, every single one of my classes, I can tell you exactly where they're at in class and what they have accomplished, what they struggle with, and what improvements they've made. So yeah, it's amazing. I'm never going back to traditional teaching ever. The Wavio pacing tracker allows me to identify what part of the lesson they are working on. It also allows them to see where they may need to go back and revise. And I use that to form individual meetings, small groups as well, to pull kids that might need some extra help, pull kids that might need extensions as well to push and challenge the students. Using that tracker helps me keep data. We have 6 essential standards in 8th grade, and I can tell you exactly this standard is something that a student struggles with. So because I know that, for example, map reading, I can pull those kids and I can also front load with those kids too. So that tracker does a lot of work for me in regards to providing me with the information that I need to be able to meet every student's needs. One thing I really like about the Wavio pacing tracker is that it allows me to put in every piece of my lesson, and I can also put in links for all of those pieces, which means that my students go straight to the Wavio tracker and access those pieces. It also gives me the opportunity to see how students are doing on the lessons. Specifically, are they able to master it the first time, or do they need more times? Do they need more access to the curriculum? Do they need to rewatch a video? Do we need a different activity to get them to really truly understand what they're learning so that they have the opportunity to master, the standard? I do like that I can fit everybody on my screen so that the kids can see everybody. I also like the ability that I can recognize students who are experts on lessons so that other students know if they're struggling that they can go to those students and say, hey, can I get some help? It allows me to form groups with students that are working on the same thing so that they can collaborate together. Like, for example, right now my students are learning about the Articles of Confederation, and they are working together as groups to identify the problems that came about because of the Articles of Confederation and why they included certain features in that document. So I love to be able to use the tracker to see that so that I can put students together in groups that are in the same place, which is awesome because collaboration is a huge part of MCP, and being able to use that is great. Okay, so talk to each other on that one.
Okay, I think I got it.
Yeah, they want everybody.
We're talking to citizens.
There's a lot of bells and whistles is what I like to say. There's a lot of bells and whistles that make things really easier for a teacher. I don't have to enter names. I can just click a button and they come right through on Google Classroom. When I start a new unit, I can literally just click the button that says move all my students to that piece in the unit. When they've completed the assignment, all I have to do is click a button when they've mastered the lesson, and it shows the students instantly that they're ready to move on. And so just those pieces saves me a lot of time. So I appreciate that.